Alright. So hi everyone, my name is Gary Parent and I share Qigong and breathwork. And these are really important things to be doing for your internal body. We can start with, we pay billions of dollars a year to wash our external body, and nobody ever talks about washing the internal body. And to get it ready to clean, we have to open the lymphatic gates, the spinal gates, and we need to get the toxins out of the lungs. So we'll be doing lion's breaths, and that'll get us ready to go through our day. So the first place we start is above and below the collarbone. If you lift your shoulder like this, you'll find a hole open under your collarbone. That muscle, if it gets inflamed, the phrenic nerve, or I call it the frantic nerve, runs down through. From here, runs right down through, right to the diaphragm. And if you're a shallow breather, or there's things going on in your life that you don't particularly care for, or you feel like you don't know where you're going to be attacked from next, we put a finger above. This is gate 1 of the lymphatic gates. One above the collarbone and one below it. And we just go out 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Then we do the other side. And you don't have to push hard. But if you want to lift your shoulder, you can, or just do it this way. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can't do this wrong. Okay? But just gentle. All these gates, we can move them gently. Right behind our earlobe, just above our jaw, there's a little hole there. This is lymphatic gate number 2. The largest lymph node in the neck is right here. And the blood that goes to and from the brain on this side of our body goes right past that. And if that lymph node gets swollen, the more it swells, the less blood is going in and returning from the brain and the autonomic nervous system and the vagus nerve come out through, and they go right over that. So if that starts to swell, it causes a lot of issues in the body. So we take our fingers and put them in that little hole and just gently drag down around the jawbone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 9. And then we go right down this large muscle inside of the neck. This is all lymph nodes. This drains this side of the head. I wasn't counting, so we'll call that 9. All right. So then we go to the other side. All right. And it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then that large muscle. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9. So this is gate 1. All lymph from the body has to come up and go into this gate. And that's why when we lay down, because we're fighting gravity, trying to get these toxins up and into this area. The head, there are 7 eliminative channels up here in the head, and that's why this is gravity fed, and it only has to go that far. It doesn't have to go from the toes all the way up through the gates. So we're going to go to gate 3, which is where the shoulder rolls into the chest plate. We can just pull on that, and you don't have to do it hard. We're just trying to move the tissue. Your lymph is just under your skin. And then we go under the arm. What's important about this is if this gets congested and the toxins are not able to move through, it backs up in the house. And there's breast cancer and lung cancer and bone cancer. So we want to keep these areas really moving. Keep that tissue nice and soft. And another thing I like to do, this is not part of the gate, but to push across the chest and get as many toxins as you can now that we've opened these channels. And then tap on the sternum. A lot of mucus can build under there, so we want to get that out. Then we go to the other side. This is gate 3. And then under the arm. And I forgot, we need to go down and do the lower rib cage. That gets no love at all. We don't even know we have it half the time. So, like I said, you can't do this wrong. So if you forget, you just go back and do it. Any lumps, bumps, sore spots, make sure that you work around those, not on top of them. We don't want to agitate or irritate anything. So, and then we're going to tap. All right, that brings us to gate 4. Gate 4 starts under the solar plexus, goes right down around and around the belly button. This is where life came from. A lot of veins and nerves here, because that's where your life came from. So before we do that, we're going to put our hands on our ribs. Our ribs are a cage, and they must be flexible to get more oxygen in, because the lungs don't breathe. They're just a sac. It's your ability to expand and contract. So this is a good way to measure it. You put your hands here on your lower rib cage, and you breathe in through your nose. Hopefully you'll see your hands separate, because your ribs are expanding. And then we exhale everything out through the mouth. And we work our way down right around the belly button. You may feel it activate. You may feel your nervous system activate. What's important about this is the vagus nerve is here. And what we're doing when you're in fight or flight, most of the blood is in your limbs, because you need to fight, flight, run, or hide. Or freeze. There's another one too. So when we're doing our breathing and we're turning this section on, it brings the blood back into the core. That's important, because if you're in fight or flight, you cannot make critical decisions. Your heart rate changes, your lungs are working too fast, your diaphragm, and your digestive system is off, because it needs blood to digest. So this whole practice is about pulling the blood from the limbs back into the core. And just so you know, we're the only ones on planet Earth that are not taught how to do that. I mean, animals do it naturally, but if you watch an impala, they're being chased by a lion or whatever, when they stop, they shake their skin right here. And that turns on rest, digest, and heal, so they can go back to grazing. All right, so that's gate 4. Now we're going to move to gate 5. Gate 5, we use a knife edge here, and then we use the palm of the hands under the legs. All tissue, no matter how old you are, must remain flexible, pliable. And down here, there's all kinds of lymph nodes, and if it backs up into the house, testicular, ovarian, I mean, there's all kinds of cancers that can happen down here, or just disease in general. So we want to make sure that we keep these open, and so that everything can flow through freely. Then gate 6, behind the knee, there's a pump back here, and the blood and the lymph run in from the back side. So this pump, if it's not working, doesn't pump the fluid in, because there's a lot of scar tissue or whatever is in there, right? So we rub and we tap. Those will stop that fluid from going in there. And we've had people in the class, just since I've been here, have their knees have straightened out. So we rub. All right. So now we're going to move on. This is oiling the joints, is what we call it. So in your intention, say, I am oiling my joints. So we start with the hands. Your body has to do what you tell it. If you're telling it to loosen up that material so that it can get in there, the blood and lymph can get in. The blood is the kitchen, and the lymphatic system is the bathroom. Wrists. The blood brings hydration, nutrition, and oxygen to the cells. And the lymphatic system, well, let's talk about the cell for a minute first. So what happens is there's an absorption that has to happen. So it absorbs, the cell absorbs the blood, it digests it and it eliminates about a 3 pH out into the interstitial pathway, and the lymphatic system comes along, picks that up, and takes it to the lymph nodes as like a septic tank in your house. So if you had a problem in the bathroom, through elbows, if you had a problem in the bathroom and you called your plumber and he started working in the kitchen, you go, "What are you doing, man? The problem's in the bathroom." Well, your doctor is your plumber. We're just a bunch of tubes, thousands of miles of tubes and sphincters and, and speaking of that, what's the only part of the body that it can expand 10 times its normal size? Normally.
The eyeball? The iris of the eye?
Yep, pupil. Yep. And those are all little tiny muscles in there that open that and close that. They're sphincter. Yeah. So moving into shoulders. Other direction. It's important to move in both directions, especially when we're doing wrists or some of the things we're going to be doing here, because you'll find it much easier to do something in one direction than the other, and that's the left and right brain fighting each other. People that are ambidextrous, they have the same power on both sides. And if you notice, some people, their hand is bigger on one side or their foot or whatever. That's because their kidney and adrenal on that side is stronger than the other side. People are ambidextrous, it's about the same. All right, so we're going to do this. Is called the Zen Swing. A guy named Paul Chek in Sedona, as far as I know, is the one who came up with this, and I learned it from Troy Casey, the certified health nut, who was a wild man. But we lift our heel and go this way, lift the other one and go that way. You do this for 10 minutes a day, and all your aches and pains will go away. Because right now, we're moving every joint in the body and every muscle. And I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but if you do this for 20 minutes a day, I don't care what's wrong, it'll correct it. Now we're going to start moving, and we're going to start going around. I would tapping the kidneys on the back side. And these are all just gentle movements. Our skeletal structure has crystal compounds all through it. They're kind of like a piezo crystal, and most of us have used them. We just don't know we use them. If you ever had a gas stove and you turn it on, it goes tick, tick, tick to light the fire. That's a piezo crystal in there. And there's a little hammer that strikes it, and it sends a spark out through to light the gas. But we have those all through our skeletal structure, and our pineal gland is completely covered with them. Okay, so let's move on to hips. When you look at the skeletal structure of the human body, the hips look like a bowl. So we pretend there's a ball inside that. And we want to keep our shoulders as straight as possible. In other words, we don't want to be doing this, right? We want to keep them straight. And we're going to move our hips like that ball is in there, and we're moving it around the ball. So, other direction. You're as young as your spine and your hips are flexible. So, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go back to knees. We're going to tap on the kneecaps 9 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're going to go to one knee each side. 2, 3, 4, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9. All right. So there's, other than the body movement, which is not a big pump, but it is a pump for the lymphatic system, we have 3 major pumps: diaphragm, balls of the feet. So on this particular one, we're going to work on the ball of the foot, one side at a time, get where it's comfortable, so we can leave the ball of the foot right on the ground, and we're just going to move around like this. Okay, and then we're going in the other direction. Yep. It's a big cigarette. Okay, then we'll go to the other leg. Other foot, I mean. And there's no set time on this. If you have something you really like, if it's a Zen swing, do that. Because, you know, the Zen swing, actually you're working on all gates. So that's an important thing to remember too. I would do the gates. I do them every day. Matter of fact, probably do them 3 times today. But once in the morning and once before you go to bed. Because if these gates aren't open and they start sticking, they start building up behind them. Because the gate's closed, you're going to have all kinds of issues. This one starts to back up, backs up in the house. And remember, it's lymph. Dis-ease is a frequency. So if you want to eliminate that frequency, it's breath and proper hydration with live liquids and foods, like the master cleanse, juice, fruit juice, or vegetable juice, depending where you are. Sometimes we get going, and we get going so fast that we end up breaking toxins, too many of them loose, and we have a cold and flu-like symptom. So achy and runny nose and can cause headaches, and that's just because you're detoxing too fast. You want to slow it down? Have a smoothie instead. Or if you go to a cooked meal, it'll almost shut it off and your pain will go away. And then once you get settled in, you go back and start another cleanse. Myself, I do 16 to 32 ounces of master cleanse every day while I'm eating. I don't know, while I'm eating. I eat, and then about an hour later, I'll have some more master cleanse. And you sip it. We're talking about that malabsorption. When the cell is sitting there and it's eliminating, if the lymph can't pick it up, it sits in its own acid, just like a baby's butt. If it doesn't get changed, it starts to burn the cell, and we don't want that. We want alkaline. Dis-ease cannot live in an alkaline body. 70% of your detox is your mole. All right. So there's 12 energy meridians in the body. 6 in the hands and 6 in the feet. So what we do is we just start clapping, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 9. 1, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 5, 6, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. One more round. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and shake it out. Because our skeletal structure has crystal compounds in it, if we just gently lift and touch our heels to the ground, you don't have to do it really hard. It sends shock waves up through the skeletal structure, and it excites those crystals, and it makes your bones stronger and more flexible. The breath goes right into the bone marrow and helps create red blood cells. And those are important. They carry a negative electromagnetic charge. And as they start to get weak, they start to get closer and closer together, and then they start to clump. You want to help your body with that. Take shoes off and stand on the ground. And the negative electromagnetic field will connect with those red blood cells, and within 10 seconds they'll all separate. And there's a lot of other neurological things that are going on while that is happening. All right, so we're going to do, we haven't done lion's breath, we haven't done the gate yet. All right, so we're going to do the spinal gate, access coccyx, where the gate is. And we do that by inhaling through the nose, and we lean back, and we put our head back as far, without falling over, as far as we can, and our hips forward. And then we exhale through the mouth. Make sure your chin is touching your chest. And inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. It's always a good idea to make the sound, because that's a healing sound for the heart. In the word heart is the word ear. Art, and take the H and put it on the other end, it spells earth. Because that's where all this comes from. And art always comes from the heart. And to give you an idea, just put our hands like this, put them behind your head, and right down next to the fleshy part by your skull there, and just move your eyes around. And you might have to find the spot, but your eyes are connected to the muscles back here. And this part of your brain. But the brain has never seen the light of day. It lives in complete darkness. And that's why we have frequencies, and we feel things, we hear things, we smell things, you know. And they're either pleasant to us, or they're not so pleasant, or they're downright horrifying. Well, the brain is processing all that information. Our nerves, our emotions, run right down the spine right here. All the way right up through, right into the skull. That's why your eyes are always looking for what you like, what you love, what you don't like, what you're scared of. And it's firing right here, and the brain is producing chemicals that change your breath, because every breath has an emotion attached to it. So when we learn to breathe, and breathe properly, we can pull ourselves out of fight or flight, because it's an autonomic nervous system. It's working automatically. Well, when we're out of control emotionally and through our breath, we don't realize that that's what's happening to us. So Qigong is a lot about that. So it's important to know that you can get rid of this through your breath, because it's just a frequency. Divine energy is here, and as it lowers, it doesn't mean you have it. You'd be susceptible to things like cold and flu and fibromyalgia and Hashimoto's and Parkinson's and MS and cancer. What they did was they gave frequencies a name. And so because it has a name, we don't realize it's a frequency. So we can change that frequency anytime we want to. And when the frequency in our body goes above that, whatever is there has to go away. So these are important things to remember. So we're going to do lion's breaths now. We'll do 3. Which you can do more if you want to. To do a lion's breath, we breathe in through the nose, tip our head back, smile. And then when I say lion's breath exhale, we stick our tongue all the way out, and we start tapping. And you want that exhale to last to get up here. You don't have to go faster. If you can't make it all the way, that just means you have a little more work to do with your breath and the regulation of it. But that doesn't mean that you won't get caught in fight or flight once in a while. But because the autonomic nervous system has been retrained by you, it will switch back to a balanced breath. Every time that special forces is going into a combat situation, they all get together and they do 5 box breaths to center themselves and to be able to go in without panicking. So breath is like one of the most important things that you could possibly do. What are we going to do next? We're going to do the neck, I think, next. So we take the right hand, put it on the left side of the head, gently move your head off to the side, and you're going to drop this shoulder. Now, you may not get much of a stretch. There's a vagus nerve down through here too, by the way. So when we breathe in through the nose, you're still not going to feel a stretch. When you exhale and you drop that shoulder, you feel it drop, and it stretches that. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Lift your shoulder up by your ear and gently let your head go back to a center position, because we are dealing with the neck. C3, 4, and 5 are in the neck, and those nerves come right out from behind our ear and come right down through. And this side controls the diaphragm on this side, and this controls the diaphragm on this side. Again, our body's split in two. So now we're going to do the other side. Just gently pull your neck off to the side. Drop that shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. So Master Shaney Lee had a woman sent to him that needed a double lung transplant. And in 90 days, her lungs were completely clear. No drugs, no surgery, no nothing. Just this move that he taught her. And she was doing it 45 minutes a day. And I don't know if it was all one thing or she was doing 10-minute cycles. I'm not sure how that was working, but when she went back, her lungs were completely clear. No scar tissue, no anything. So this is a really important exercise. So you want to do this as much as you can. So we pretend there's a ball on our chest, and we inhale. We inhale through the nose, and we keep our neck as straight as possible. And we go all the way into upright position, and we exhale through the mouth. We go out away from the chest as far as we can, and we pick that ball up, and we inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right. Now we're in this position. We're not going to pull up. We're just going to inhale and lift our head through our nose. And we're going to work C3, 4, and 5 from the side of the neck. When we exhale, to the left, inhale, pull our head straight back, and then to the right. Inhale, exhale. You may get crunching and stuff going on, don't worry about it. It's just part of the process. Exhale. Shows you how many impingements and what's growing in your body that shouldn't be there. Inhale. And over time, this will eliminate it. Exhale. This and the master cleanse are fruit juices. And exhale. Okay. So we're going to do some breaths. And we're going to start here. And we're going to do a full inhale by the time our hands get here. And then we'll do a full exhale by the time we get down here. So inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. This time, one breath through the nose all the way up over our head. Inhale. This is a great way to regulate your breath. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, stay at the top. We're going to turn to the left. We're going to exhale. We're going to inhale to the middle. And then exhale, turning the other way. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Back to the center. And we're going to exhale by pulling our hands off to the sides. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Shake it out. Shaking is what happens when we get sick. So if we pre-shake, it's like preparing to eliminate anything that comes into our body that we don't want there. So the breath, like I said, 70% of your detox. Every emotion is attached to a breath. So as you're watching a movie, we're so involved in the movie, don't realize our breath is changing on the way. But you think about, you touch something, right? Or you get angry. Everything changes the breath. If we love someone, they pick up a puppy, it's like, oh. So once you learn these and you master them, and you're aware, your intention, everything will start to shift in your body. And that's what we want. We want the body to shift, because right now it probably has a lot of spots in it that are stuck. This is a breath that we do. We're going to blow it through the left side of the nostril. I'm going to do it this way, but you can use your hands like this. It's just easier for you to see me if I do it this way. So we're going to start with a full breath. And we're going to blow out the left nostril. Don't all the way out, just exhale. Oh, we've already blown out noses. All right, here we go. And we switch to the right. We inhale. And we exhale. Switch. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. So not many people know, but we have erectile cells in our nose. And about every 20 minutes or half an hour, one side will start to shut down a little bit, and the other side will open, and then this side will shut down, and this side will open. This side of the nose oxygenates this side of the body. Just like this is running my hand. When it crosses this invisible barrier, this side of my brain is running it. So people that are dyslexic, their mind is constantly flickering, and they're fighting for dominance, and that's why things move around. And we want to be able to help relieve that. So that breath will do it. The movements where we're going in both directions, that'll do it. And this, because we're crossing that line, will also help the left and right brain communicate with each other in a very kind way. Growing up dyslexic, I know this only too well. I started to learn to read and write when I was 49. Okay, so this is an exercise for balance and building core strength, which is what we want. Okay, so when the head, the hip, and the foot are in alignment, you can stand on one foot. But right now we're just going to rock and see if you can find that spot. And if you lose your balance, don't worry about it. Remember, 2/3 of our fluid is right here. It's moving. And our head weighs about 11 pounds. So it's pulling us off to the side. See, I said that, pulled right off. I did, yeah. Okay. And then once we hit that spot, it's how long we can stand there. And we're on uneven ground, too, so. Which is the most important place to learn. But, then after that, you can do all kinds of cool things. And to be gentle with your body. That's really what it's about. Be kind to yourself. We're not very kind. So this is a breath. This is called breath fire. And just follow me. I don't know how how many we're going to do because it goes pretty fast. We're going to do slow, then we're going to do fast, and we're going to do slow again. So we blow out through the nose. Not many people know, but when your lungs automatically fill back up again. You don't have to breathe in. We start with a full breath, and we inhale. There we go. And you want your belly involved. Now fast. And then slow. That will get rid of anxiety, panic attacks, all kinds of things that will do. Each breath has a kind of like its own little thing that it does. This is a shamanic breath. In through the mouth, out through the mouth, belly, chest, exhale right off. Like I had to do a lot of reps in the desert because you get so dry. One of the things we can do is make an energy ball. And there are many ways to do it, but we're going to just rub our fingernails together in our first knuckle and just breathe in and out through the nose. Then you put your hands down. You should feel tingling in your fingers. If not, just rub your fingernails together again. And then we put our hands together and we just slowly rub them. And you feel it get hot in there, and you stop and slowly open your hands, and you feel the energy push back. This is why you are not your body. You're the energy in it. This is just a vehicle we were gifted so we could come down here and experience life. So we're going to take a full deep breath in through the nose. We're going to put that energy right into our heart. And you probably get a jolt. I know I do all the time because I've already done this 3 times today. And it loves it. Okay? So now we're going to make an energy ball. We're going to put our hands over our face, and we're going to inhale through the nose, and we stop right here. This will be a full breath through the nose. And then we exhale, we go down over the back of the head. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Now you want to work the ears. All your organs and glands are represented in your ears. The heart is the earlobe is the heart. And really work them over. Don't be afraid to move them around. Push them, pull them to the front, push them to the back. Get inside the ear, work around. This will get rid of headaches, all kinds of stuff. Most headaches are muscle issues, contractions, pulling down on the head so hard that it starts to hurt. Because the brain cannot feel anything. That's why they want you awake when they do brain surgery. And who knows how to tell, and I heard this from the greatest brain surgeon in the world, I guess. How do they determine the greatest brain surgeon? It's by the size of the hole they cut in your head. That's how they determine it. And then they watch you because your arm might jump or your leg might go. So the one thing that he said was, I do the best I can. I have over 1,000 death certificates in my filing cabinet. So, I mean, a lot of them come there late in their dis-ease because I don't believe in disease. All right, so we're going to do like iron. This is one of my favorites. We're going to tense the whole body all the way down through. It's like doing an isometric. So we start with the hands, and we squeeze. And we go tighter, and tighter, and tighter. And then the forearms, the elbows, bicep, tricep, back, shoulders, chest, stomach, small of the back. We usually press our butt together to get our hips And then our thighs, our knees, curl your toes and go right down into your calves. All right. Inhale through the nose and hold it. And exhale and release. Any muscles you have in your body that are like next to spasm, this will help relieve them so that they can relax. And shaking is another way to do that. So if you have cramps in your hands or things like that, the Master Cleanse will help with that. It'll dissolve. Scar tissue will dissolve. Kidney stones, gallstones. It'll clean anything out that's in the body that doesn't belong there. So, all it is 32 ounces of water, 1 lemon, a little tiny, tiny, tiny pinch of Himalayan, Celtic, or blue Baja salt, which is the cleanest and it has the most minerals in it. Because we're so mineral deficient now, we're having all these issues. So this is called the twister, and it twists everything in here. That's what we're doing. We're trying to twist everything and wring it out. We're like massaging it without going to pay for it. It doesn't even matter. Without going to have a massage. So we inhale through the nose. We look all the way back, and we exhale through the mouth, and then we inhale. 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 And back to rest. So this one I call the windshield wiper. And we put our hands over our head, and we just swing from side to side.
Put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care.
That's right. That's right.
That's exactly what that looks like.
Yep. And now we're going to do a fork in the garbage disposal. And that one is like this. Now we'll go in the other direction. All right. Well, I'm plenty dizzy. How are you guys doing? We're going to tap on top of the head and down the side. Any tightness or any congestion in there, this will help break it up. Okay, so I think, do you want to do Hughes and Ohms in front of the camera? Or?
Sure.
Okay, so we should all move out here maybe?
What are we doing?
Hughes and Ohms.
Ohms?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Ohms.
Do we go somewhere for that?
Well, we make a circle, and what we do is we're creating a vortex of energy.
Oh, okay.
And then we send that energy to heal Gaia and all living things on Earth.
Can we do it just around the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're going to make an energy ball. Morning. And this vibration, the hue is higher and the ohm is down in the chest. And it's moving cells. Anything that's around the cell that doesn't belong there will start shaking it up. And it's down. That's an energy ball. And we're going to end up putting our palms towards the middle. And as that vortex gets bigger, you may feel it pushing against your hands because it's going to be a huge energy center. And then we're going to send that out to the world by pushing our hands up. And then we're going to pull it back and we're going to put it right into our heart. Alright. We put our hands this way. We inhale. you'll find that it's the amount of pressure you put on your voice to make that sound. If you're blowing really hard, it won't last very long.
Is it you or
Q. Yep. So inhale. One more of these, and I'll go to inhale. All right, going to Ohms next, which is inhale through the nose. Inhale. One more. Inhale. Inhale. And push that and blow out and push that energy right out to the world. Healing, loving, kind energy. Then we're going to put our hands together and inhale and bring that energy right into our heart. And then exhale, just relax. So we should do the 10 things. One of my favorites because it's the greatest healing modality. So I will, I'll inhale, just follow me. Inhale. Phew. That was intense.
I'm sorry.
Lovely intense.
Now I have a laugh track
Yeah.
that I can put on the sitcom that we'll make about Nomad Spirit Camp.
Yeah. All right. So with that, I'm out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're out. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Six out, deuces. Nothing but love.